It's real interesting because three of the guys we brought into design all came from Germany, and none of them were German. Well, actually, there was no real interview per se for Tom.
Yeah, but
he was like, we kind of pre-approved him. He just tracked the phone down and said, "You want to come back to California?"
Yeah.
And there was this pause of about 17 milliseconds, and it was kind of like, "What plane do you want me on?" Was experiences that the people on the team had about a Datsun 510, and the 510 had appallingly bad steering. There's a lot of things wrong with it, but there were also a lot of things right with it. I started thinking, if you could get the best parts of this English car and the best parts of the Japanese car, what a great thing you'd have, because it'd be fun to drive, and the Datsun wasn't, and it'd be reliable. And that just was in the back of my mind from my high school days. "No, you should work on your sports car project." I had completely forgotten about it. And he said, "I will talk to your boss." So he disappeared. "Yamamoto-san and I agree, you should work on the cheap sports car project, but you have to do it only in certain times." I said, "Yes, sir." He says, "You must do it before 8:30. You can work on it all you want. You can work on it all you want between noon and 1, and you can work on it as much as you want after 5:30. I came in at 6 o'clock in the morning every day afterwards for about 7 years. No design, but it was just kind of, what does this thing have to be? How do we have to do it? And they actually had a design off. And before the clay model stage, however, they went back with a sketch program. And we lost the sketch program. We were dead last. The original plan was they were going to take these 3 ideas and distill to 2. No intention to build, but just to get it so that they could do research on 2 instead of 3. And they had to choose between the Miata, the MPV, and the 660 Micro Mini.
Yeah.
So they had 3 cars, and they decided they were going to do the MPV first. Tom and his guys started doing a sketch program and a clay model. Now, we didn't have any project to do it for, but we had a budget to do a clay model, which supported the concept completely. Was that it had to have a certain timelessness to the design, because we weren't certain how long it'd be in production, and sports cars don't need a 4-year model cycle like a C-segment sedan does. So our idea was 10 years, and to get a car to go 10 years, it won't be as super sexy and tomorrow. So compared to the sketches of the mid-engine car and the front drive car, it looked kind of, It was pretty, it was really pretty, but it didn't look like today.
What I learned from GM and BMW, combined the two to make a challenge of doing the timeless design. So in essence, all the learning I've done, I have a place to utilize all the learnings. And second generation, we didn't really need it a change as much, from the styling point of view. Just needed a little bit. We felt like a middle section may need to be a little bit more than first generation. That was the main point. And after 25 years looking at those cars and said, basically did it, we can prove it.
I knew it was going to be successful. Okay, I knew that it as it was launched with the NA, I knew we had the legs to go 2 generations with no problem at all. But one thing I remember disturbed me, that when we got the official, okay, we are going to build the car approval, okay, I was given a timeline on product platform cycle. And they had a change scheduled 4 years into it. And I was thinking, now I'm going to have to spend some time to explain why we shouldn't do this for both product and cost reasons. It was a waste of money. The other benefit we had no rivals. And that was the other, that was a double-edged sword. Because we had to convince management to build a car for which there were no rivals, and therefore we had said, how many built a year? Oh, about 2,000. And they're like, you want to spend this amount of money to do a car?
And then somebody called me from Japan saying, we're going to do the 4th. Do you have any idea? I said, whoa, I did it for 25, but nothing beyond that. I don't think I'll live long enough to see that. This is another one. We did it for 25 years, but beyond that, and it's great that it succeeded, steady, held steady to the original principle, adapted to each era that we came up with. So I'm sure the 4th will be another one of those that spirit and the principle, the concept stays executed for the time that you need to be out and lasting for another 5, 6, 7 years.